Hey everybody, Marcus here. Our school system. What are we teaching these kids today? And I'm really talking about K through 12, you know, the years that matter the most. What are we doing? Why aren't we educating them on day-to-day life? Why is our school curriculum not based around what happens to us as we become adults, as we mature in our lives, so that maybe they can possibly avoid some of the pitfalls that we've fallen into because we were uneducated? You know, I mean, math class, you got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, period. That's all you need to teach kids, K through 12. They don't need trigonometry. They don't need algebra, 1, 2, 3, and how many? It's unnecessary. Teach them how to balance a checkbook. Teach them how to manage a bank account. Teach them what a mortgage rate is. Teach them an interest rate. Teach them how to save money for retirement. These are the types of things that we can make math equations out of that can actually help these kids in the future. How much money do you need to make in a year to support a family of 4? How much money do you need to put away starting from your first job even? Is it that difficult that we couldn't build a curriculum around that? You know? I mean, you can get into science class. You could teach them about the environment. Instead of dissecting a frog, teach them about omissions. Teach them about the things that they can do to change the environment from their own perspectives in life. No matter what they're doing, there's something we can all do, but hell, we don't know what, unless you're a damn scientist. So all the scientists out there are doing things to make the earth a little bit better, but we don't ever get a basic education on the things that we can do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm sure there's plenty of them. You know, why isn't that taught in school? How about a credit score? Why don't they drill into kids' heads from day one what a credit score is, what a rating is, why it's important, why it matters, how it directly affects your life in many ways as you get older? These are the things I'm talking about. They don't do that, you know, in school. Our school curriculum is based on things that we'll never need to know. Pi. Why do I ever need to know what 3.14 is? Why am I ever going to know the Pythagorean theorem? How am I going to apply that to my life? Well, you know, the educators say, well, you know, school is to teach kids how to learn. Okay, fine. Why not teach kids how to learn about what they're going to have to deal with when those kids become adults, and make it a math equation? Because everything in life is a math equation. I don't care what you do. It's a math equation. 2 + 2 = 4. Apply that equation, that simplified math, to everything that we do in daily life. Nobody uses algebra, trigonometry. Nobody needs to know the circumference of something, the radius of something, in order to make it through life. When's the last time somebody else had to do a math problem like that pertained to day-to-day life? Absolutely zero, but this is what we're teaching our kids so that our kids can learn how to learn. Well, why not teach them how to go grocery shopping and what the grocery bill is going to be, what the rent bill is going to be? What about the Duke Power bill? And when you move in for the first time, you're going to have a deposit, and how much that deposit is going to be. And guess what? If you know something about your credit score, it's going to save you on your deposit. It's going to save you on your car payment, your mortgage payment. It's going to make us American citizens a lot more productive. Why isn't school teaching those types of things? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I think the school curriculum should be completely revamped. And I think that school, each category, and I can talk about every class, English, reading, math, science, biology, or whatever the core requirements are, I think they should be changed, and they should be wrapped around, use the same categories, but wrap everyday life around those categories. making a purchase on a house, what to eat, diet, nutrition, legitimate nutrition, long-lasting nutrition. I just don't know why our school curriculum doesn't have a lot more of real life wrapped into it. I mean, health class, they could talk about what do you do if you catch cancer and how does that work out. You could go through a whole year or 2 years where you're actually battling cancer and it follows you from 9th grade to 10th grade, 11th grade, and maybe you beat it in 12th grade. But then someday when you have that happen, or a family member has that happen, you know what to do, because that's real life. These things matter. Social studies do the same thing. All the social things that we have to deal with out there on a daily basis, instead of learning who, American history is one of social studies topics, I mean, who cares who the first president is? How is that going to help when they get out in the world? They want to know that stuff, they can research it, and I'm not saying this stuff doesn't matter, because history matters. History is what made us today, evolution of time, of people, the cultivation of society. I get all that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is our educational system is not making our kids smarter. Quite frankly, we'd be better off teaching our kids our current curriculum in reverse. Teach them trigonometry and calculus and algebra in kindergarten, first grade. Reverse it. Work it all the way down to where when they graduate high school, 2 + 2 = 4, and they can color in between the lines, look both ways before we cross. That's the basics in life, as ironic as it may seem. And I think a lot of us adults out there can relate to that. There's no reason why every high school graduate shouldn't walk out of high school not only with a passing grade, but with an 825 to 850 credit score, because all through school they've learned. And when you're 16, 17, guess what? You can get your first credit card, and you can spend all of high school establishing credit in 4 years. You could easily walk out of high school with an 800, 850 credit score. And that's what I'm talking about, because that is going to get a lot of doors opened for you, in jobs, houses, land, whatever it is that you want to do. If you have an 850 credit score, you can do it. You can get a car with 0 down and 0 APR if your credit score is that high. And not only that, you'll know what an APR is. Ask any high school kid right now what an APR is. They're not going to know. And why shouldn't they? You can ask them who Abraham Lincoln is, and some of them will know and some of them won't. But that's what's taught. Why not teach them what they're going to deal with when they go out in life? Give them a shot. Give them an opportunity. We could grow our kids so much better in a much more positive way. It needs to be changed. Change the curriculum so that our kids are prepared for this world when they become an adult. Home economics should be a core course. Home economics? Are you kidding me? That's not core. You can wrap that up into math very easily. Algebra out, trigonometry out, algebra 3, algebra 4, algebra whatever. You teach simple. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's it. That's all the average American needs to know. Now, if you want to be a scientist, you want to launch a space shuttle or something, you might need to know the Pythagorean theorem. But you can learn that stuff in your first 2 years at college, and then again some more in grad school. You're not going to need it in day-to-day life. No one needs that. Shoot, I don't even know what to do with it. And guess I'm 49 years old. Never once have I had to use the Pythagorean theorem to be able to figure out my house bills, to be able to figure out if I can afford to buy a car. But this is what they're teaching us. Change the school curriculum, America. Come on, let's make our kids smarter. That's all I'm saying. Let's give them the opportunity to not make the mistakes that we made. Anyway, that's my first rant, my first segment. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm a proud, happy American, and you know, this has been fun creating this YouTube channel and being able to get my opinion out there and listening to some of the things that come back, people that bounce off of what I say. And I've had a lot of people say, hey, great video, great message, love to hear it. And I've heard some people say, you know, you don't know what the heck you're talking about, so on and so forth. And hey, maybe I don't, you know. If I can reach some people and not reach others, that's cool. Good, bad, or indifferent, leave me a comment, because I love them. You know, even better yet, logicalopinion@gmail.com. Send me a voice message. I'll work it into one of my segments, and we'll have a conversation, you know. That's what's great about freedom of speech. Anyway, happy to share my opinion with anybody that's willing to listen. And anybody that's still listening, thanks for listening. And I'll be talking to you soon. Shoot me some comments, messages, whatever. It's been a blast putting down my first segment. Hope y'all have a good weekend, evening, wherever you're at, listening to this, what you're doing. And I will talk to you next week in a segment about a different topic that has a whole lot of logic.